Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony. Welcome to another edition of B&A Sports Talk. And today what I'm going to do is talk about a little bit about Giants. But tomorrow, I know I have a lot of schoolwork. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm probably going to do my top seven worst sports cities of 2020. I did that in 2018. I did it in 2019. I'm doing it in 2020. And it should be very interesting. But I have a lot of other work to do. So hopefully it'll be out. I mean, I've done a decent amount of research for it. I just have to get it recorded and edited. That's the main thing. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is a little bit of a Bucs-Giants preview. Now, I'm pretty sure we all know how this game's going to go. We're going to hold it tight in the second quarter, and then the Buccaneers are going to figure out, they're going to expose one of our weaknesses, whether it be our CB2, whether it be Rob Gronkowski with one of our linebackers, and then that's going to be game. And they're going to pull ahead at the end, score 31-17 or 14, or however optimistic you are about the Giants offense. The key thing is the Giants offense versus the Buccaneers defense. Last year, we scored a bunch of points against them. Daniel Jones fumbled a bunch against this team last year. It was his first game, but he had like 3 turnovers throughout the game. People say, oh, he did amazing that game. No, remember, he had a decent amount of turnovers. He wasn't really securing the ball that well, and he hasn't really done that over the past couple of weeks, let's just say that. Yeah, he's done a better job. I'm not saying he's awful in that department. People are blaming him for that fourth quarter, 10-second left to fumble. Tom Brady fumbled 10 seconds left in the Super Bowl. Nobody talks about that because you knew that the team wasn't going to win. You knew it. It was improbable. They weren't going to come back. It was like 30 seconds left, and they were on the 20. Daniel Jones is just looking downfield. Now, he has things he needs to work on. His ball placement has been better, but we haven't been taking that many deep shots. He is like third as far as downfield targets. But that's not really that great of a sample size. And when he goes deep, he knows he has something. It's not like going deep consistently. That's the thing. And how the Giants want to build their offense, I think, in the future is get a bunch of weapons. You see teams like the Raiders, the Buccaneers, they just have a bunch of weapons to go to. It's not about having a number one. It's about having multiple just good wide receivers. And wide receivers that could come out and break out any single game. So you're not too sure who's going to have a good day, bad day. And you have to have 4 or 5 corners that are good. And then especially you scheme them open, that's good. But let's talk back to a little bit of a Buccaneers preview. Offensive line, Shane Lemieux hasn't really been given the nod yet at left guard just yet. They're going to do a rotation, what reports are, at the guard position. I don't love it. I don't love that. You have to have a plan and stick with it, I think, for this, at least this game. With the tackles, you're kind of figuring it out a little bit. Create some continuity here. Create some continuity. Say, hey, Shane Lemieux, you're starting at left guard. You're going to be there the entire game. I don't care what happens. You're going to be there. That's what I think they should do. Nick Gates at center. Right guard, Kevin Zeitler. Good thing we didn't trade him yet. And then right tackle, Cameron Fleming. Left tackle, obviously, Andrew Thomas. And I just want Andrew Thomas to play against a game where they don't have an elite defensive end. Either Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Or it's, Fletcher Cox and Hardgraves. And it's just... Can he just play a game where he can build his confidence a little bit? Because it feels like he's getting torn down and down and down. And this year hasn't really been a good year for the first and second Giants overall picks. If you figure, besides JPP is having a decent season. Anybody who's drafted all the way back in like 2011 or whatever it was. You take Daniel Jones hasn't been playing that well. Xavier McKinney is hurt. He was a second-round pick. Now you're taking Odell, Saquon Barkley, ACL injuries. This hasn't really been a good overall year. Evan Ingram, first-round pick. Landon Collins gets hit with the ACL. Sterling Shepard. Man, this hasn't been a good year for our picks, even players not on our team. But, as far as the offensive line, I think we can hold our own because the thing is, how much of a downgrade is it going to be? I know we were kind of scheming some things open with the run game. How much worse are we going to get? And this game is really the first game where I'm like, yeah, they outmatch us in pretty much everything. Like, what do we do better than Tampa Bay? We have a better kicker? Is that really what we're going to be excited about? Hey, we have Graham Gano is better than whoever they decide to roll out. Matt Gay. It proved to be good last year, but really, it's whatever. And what I do hate about a lot of prognosticators, they pick the Giants to get crushed by the Eagles. The Giants barely lose against the Eagles. We should have won that game, and all of a sudden we're worse than what they initially thought. How is that possible? Oh, the Giants are going to lose this game 30-10. It's not even going to be close. We lose because we choke at the end, and we really shouldn't have lost because of some ref calls, and then all of a sudden we suck. Like, what? It's just about finishing games 1-6. I'm not expecting anything at this point. We're going to be a 3-13, 4-12 team, and that may be good enough to win the division, but it's whatever. And as far as the rest of the division. Just a little bit of a preview. Washington has their bye week. Philadelphia looks like they're going to win their game against the Cowboys, so they're really going to take a stranglehold in this division. I think they're the division favorites. They're getting healthy. They're getting Marcus Peters back. They're getting a bunch of now healthy players back. They're going to get Zach Ertz back soon. I think Dallas Goedert is a go for this week, so they should be the favorites in this division. And that was a really key loss that we lost last week against the Eagles. It really was. Now we have a mini bye week, but we haven't really practiced that much. But this, again, I mentioned it before, is a key test for Joe Judge. Versatility, off-season training, how does that apply to this game? How are we going to do it? I have no idea. We're going to lose this game. We obviously are. And it's good. But the thing is, the forecast, I'm a weatherman, forecast, upper 30s, somewhat windy. So Tom Brady's used to that, with Foxborough. But is Tampa used to that? They're a fair weather team. Are they going to be like, oh, it's too cold? And then the Giants are just like, yeah, screw that. We're going to do whatever means possible to win. Because sometimes that happens. You get a scrappy team that's just like, we don't care if we win or lose, tie. Like, we're just going to be out physical you. Tampa's a physical team. Some key matchups I'm excited for this game. Tristan Wirfs and Andrew Thomas. They don't face off against each other. I'm excited to see, Andrew Thomas up to the challenge. I think it's the first time he's playing against a first-round tackle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. And then, as far as Blake Martinez versus Devin White, I was a Devin White fan last year. We weren't able to get him in the draft. I said, I loved him. I'm like, if the Buccaneers draft Josh Allen, I'm like, I want Devin White. So that kind of like that. JPP versus Andrew Thomas, I want to see that happen. I want to see how Nick Gates holds up against the interior defensive line. Is he going to really out-physical them? Wayne Gallman, I'm really excited to see how he does this week. Do teams game plan for him? He only had 3.4 yards per carry last week, but really you just saw him outbreak, and he was doing really well. And Evan Ingram, just when he's dead, is he going to succeed and be productive for this team, or does he suck and then we trade him? Maybe if he's good and we trade him as well, because then his stock is really high. But yeah, it's gonna be. I'm looking at the pieces on this team. Darnay Holmes is returning. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see. I think O'Shane Ximines might be returning. I'm not too sure about that. I probably shouldn't mention that. Like, oh yeah, O'Shane Ximines is definitely returning. I'm not too sure what his status is on the game. And then Darius Slayton versus Jamel Dean or the other guy, whoever they're going to put up against Darius Slayton. Can he win one-on-one matchups? And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm excited to see. Oh, and Mike Evans versus James Bradbury. Those are some key matchups I'm looking forward to. I think James Bradbury can hold his own against Mike Evans. At least it's not going to be as bad as Janoris Jenkins. At least we don't think. But hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Go Giants, and bye, guys.